Hello there.
What's going on? Welcome back to the channel today, guys. It's your boy Ellie Moses. I'm a 20-year-old law and film student here in Sydney, Australia, trying to make my way through the YouTube universe as a wise bounty hunter once said. And today, we're back with another 4K review. I mean, you guys have been lauding me in the comments of live streams and everything to do a Batman review. And one of the Batman films I do happen to have on 4K is The Dark Knight. And I did recommend that in one of the comments, and you guys said, yes, do The Dark Knight. And funnily enough, this week as well for our cinema showdown on Sunday mornings, which is 9 a.m. Australian, and then figure out for Eastern Standard and UK. I think it's 10 p.m. UK on the Saturday, but we will be doing a cinema showdown with the Tim Burton Batman taking on Batman Begins. So looking forward to that, guys. Stay tuned for that. I cannot wait. But today we'll be reviewing Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight on 4K. So in first impressions with the 4K, guys, just to give you a little bit of the technical details, this film is shot on film. So when a film is shot on film, obviously you get a 2K finish. So when you're transferring a 2K finish to a completely new 4K scan, you're never going to get that ultra full 4K quality, as you are limited to what you can upgrade. Unless if a film is shot on digital, you can upgrade or like upscale that film to whatever you want. Basically, the capabilities are endless. I mean, The Martian was shot on 4K, Pacific Rim was shot on digital, and when you get the full 4K transfer of that, you get the optimum quality of the Ultra HD. But when a film is shot on 2K and finished on the 2K format, you're never gonna get that full quality, so full 4K quality. So just a quick heads up on that. Now with The Dark Knight, it has the wait, I'm trying to remember. Okay, let me read out this. Yes, it has the 2:4:1 aspect ratio, so that's the widescreen aspect ratio. So you're gonna get the black bars on the side. But also, The Dark Knight was shot with IMAX cameras. So some scenes with the film was shot with IMAX cameras. So that means the IMAX scenes are a 1:7 aspect ratio. So that is, it's like full screen aspect ratio, I think. So you're gonna get the full screen of the TV, no black bars. Let me double check here. Oh, okay, 1:7:8 aspect ratio. Sorry, 1:7:8 aspect ratio with the IMAX scene. So that means you get the full capability of the TV, full screen, no black bars, with the IMAX sequences only. So is that to the detriment of the film? I mean, it can get a little bit distracting at times, because some scenes, for instance, the first 5 minutes of the film, the bank robbery sequence, is absolutely fantastic in 4K because it's shot on IMAX and you get the full capability of your TV, and it's crystal clear quality. Crystal clear quality. For instance, even when the Joker takes off his mask, you can see the little details on his skin in that close-up when he reveals himself to the bank employee. You see the cracks within the paint, the pores on his skin. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, the scars stand out even more in 4K, and that close-up, especially shot on the IMAX cameras, when you get the full fledge of your TV with no black bars, it's absolutely quality in 4K, and it is crystal clear, and I cannot fault that. Even the whites of his paint stand out even more just within that first 5 minute sequence. And even the wide take shots, or sort of bird's eye view shots of buildings, when it comes to city shots, they're all shot on IMAX, so you get the full screen of the TV with that. However, it can get a bit distracting at times, and I saw a lot of people complain with this with Transformers The Last Night. Say whatever you want about that film, but some scenes were shot on IMAX, some scenes were shot on normal, and the aspect ratio did change a lot, and I noticed that in cinemas. But The Dark Knight, obviously, I was too young to see it when it came out in cinemas. I think I was still in primary school, so, but Transformers The Last Night, I did see in theaters, and I did notice the aspect ratio constantly shifting. So when you're watching The Dark Knight on 4K, guys, the aspect ratio, and the same goes with the Blu-ray as well, the aspect ratio does shift from scene to scene depending on whether it was shot with the IMAX or the normal film cameras. Now, if that distracts you and you tend to get annoyed by that, then there's no point purchasing the 4K just for the upgrade. The IMAX scenes are way better than the normal widescreen scenes. The IMAX scenes tend to be more clearer, so there is an inconsistency in the 4K there. And I'm not going to lie, I can laud the film, I can praise the film for as good as it is, but with the 4K review, guys, I'm going to be straight up honest here. The 4K is really inconsistent. Compared to my Rogue One review, which I did yesterday, even though that is a 1:7, 2:4 aspect ratio, similar to The Dark Knight with the widescreen, the clarity maintains its consistency throughout. However, with the Dark Knight, with the widescreen sequences, it doesn't seem too much of an upgrade on the Blu-ray. If anything, it's very similar to the Blu-ray. There's heavy grain in some scenes, and there is this sort of wash across the top of the screen at some instances, particularly when you get a wide shot of our characters standing, not a close-up. When you get a wide shot, there tends to be this white wash, or like sort of hue across the top of the screen, where it becomes a bit blurry, and it's like a haze around the characters' heads, or whatever is in that projection of the screen, that top area of the screen. There tends to be this wash, and I don't know if that's the film's fault or just the 4K transfer, but you tend to get that. I'm not sure if that's the problem with the Blu-ray, as I only own the 4K. Just editing over my review, guys, at the moment, and I do have the Blu-ray. I've seen it as well. It comes with the 4K. I'm an idiot. I can't believe I said that. It's such a mistake. On the cover, it literally says 4K Blu-ray together, and like comes with both discs. So I'm sorry. Back to the review. I have skimmed through the Blu-ray a bit, and apparently it is an issue as well. There is that wash across the screen, but it is prevalent within the 4K transfer as well, that wash across the top of the screen in sequences. When there's close-up shots of characters interacting with each other, it's not too noticeable. But when it's a wide take, for instance, of our characters standing, I think there was one sequence of Alfred the butler walking into Bruce Wayne's penthouse. You notice that the wash is there, and it's just a bit blurry at the top of the screen. I'm not too sure. I noticed it. If you have a keen eye for it, you will notice it. But in terms of the IMAX sequences in 4K, guys, the IMAX sequences are absolutely fantastic. I mean, the downtown Gotham chase sequence when Harvey Dent is in the SWAT SUV or SWAT van, and the Joker's and his goons are running down. That action sequence is fantastic in 4K. And I think the bright orange of the explosions, they really do stand out more. And when you get the full screen with the IMAX sequences, it's just much clearer than the normal digital scenes. Even the what's another scene I'm trying to remember? The hospital sequence when Heath Ledger's Heath Ledger, rest in peace, man. But when Heath Ledger's walking back and you have the explosions behind him, that looks amazing in 4K. All the city cinema shots are sort of shots or aerial shots of the cities, they're all shot in IMAX cameras, so you get the full 4K quality with those. It's really clear at that point. Even the Hong Kong sequence where Batman is extracting Lau, that is fantastic in 4K, but the aspect ratio does shift at points where you have the scenes with him standing tall or sort of watching over the buildings. That's in IMAX, but then when he shifts down and crashes into the building and takes on the characters, the aspect ratio shifts down, and then when he goes back out, it shifts back to the full IMAX full screen aspect ratio. So if you do get annoyed by that, it does become inconsistent at points, and obviously the shift. But as I said before, the IMAX quality tends to differ from the widescreen quality, which doesn't make for a consistent 4K experience. That's just me being honest. And a thing I can really praise with the 4K with the Dark Knight is the DTS Master audio. The audio is absolutely fantastic on the 4K. Even though it's not Dolby Atmos, the DTS Master audio is absolutely fantastic. It was riveting. There is a little bit of an imbalance with the characters talking, and then when it gets to sort of an action sequence and Hans Zimmer's score, it does elevate, and then it does reverberate throughout the whole room, and it's a thunderous noise, especially with Hans Zimmer's theme. The audio is really fantastic. However, do take note that it is inconsistent as well, with characters can be talking at one point, and then when the score elevates, it vibrates throughout the whole room. But I did enjoy the audio. The audio, if I was to rank the audio alone, I'd give the audio the rank of like Jedi Master or something. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm ranking this film based on its 4K quality, and the 4K quality is inconsistent. Although the IMAX sequences are fantastic in 4K, and I really did enjoy them. They are too far in between. A lot of the scenes are in the normal widescreen aspect ratio, and there is a lot of inconsistency with it. It just felt like a normal Blu-ray experience to me. But then when you get to the when you get to the IMAX film sequences, especially in 4K, there was one scene where Bruce Wayne is sort of mowing downtown with his Lamborghini, and you could see how crystal clear the picture is with his reflection from the sort of the windscreen. It looked absolutely amazing. But yeah, it is really inconsistent, and I'm being totally honest here. So with the Dark Knight 4K review, guys, I'm gonna give it the rank of Padawan, unfortunately. Yes, but it's not the worst ranking. It's just below mid-tier or a good 4K in my opinion. It's not worth the purchase. I would stick with the Blu-ray. The audio is really fantastic, but unfortunately the IMAX scenes, although they are great, it is bogged down by the widescreen 4K transfer, where I said you have that wash over in some scenes, and then it just doesn't maintain its clarity throughout as a 4K should. That's just my take on it. I've seen reviews online giving like the 4K review 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. This is just my honest opinion and experience with the 4K. I just rewatched it now, and yes, the IMAX scenes, I said before, are fantastic in 4K. However, with the 4K experience, you want that consistency throughout, and unfortunately with the Dark Knight you do not get that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my honest take with the Dark Knight 4K review. Stay tuned for more videos, guys, and if you like the video, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe. If not, nah, it's all good, man. But stay tuned for my Flicks and Bricks this week, where we'll be talking about the Predator franchise. I know you guys recommended that in our Cinema Showdown experience last week, the dark to do a take on the Predator franchise for Flicks and Bricks. Yes, Predator and Lego, but we're gonna make it work. So as always, guys, it's been your boy Ellie Moses. Take care and peace.